right, cool. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We have another YouTube superstar to talk to. Today we're talking to Laurence Osman, who is the channel owner of LozAus, a stop-motion YouTube video channel that is absolutely breaking records. Laurence, at the last check, had over 1 million subscribers, 1.1 million subscribers. His highest video views of 233 million views for a single video. Laurence, thank you so much for joining us. I'm absolutely thrilled to be talking to you today, man.
It's a pleasure, Walt. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. No worries at all. So video blogging is such a powerful medium, and obviously looking at some of your videos, they're unique, they're absolutely amazing, and the work that goes into them is incredible. How did you actually get started in this area?
Oh, geez, it was sort of by accident. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she bought me a Spider-Man action figure. And one night I was just looking at it and I thought I might try and animate it because I used to do it when I was 15 years old.
Right. So you went all the way from the flip books where you're drawing the characters, and you went full on into the action figures with the stop motion and took it all the way.
Oh no, I used to do clay animation. I did a bit of cartoonish type stuff when I was back in the 80s with a Super 8 camera, but I think it's just the toys these days. I just thought I'd have a bit of fun with our kids and set up the camera, and there you go.
Here we are. There you go. A YouTube superstar story is written. Tell me, mate, looking at your videos specifically, now there's a lot of people that do amazingly well on YouTube and they have such an in-depth following. Some of these guys just go out on the street and shoot a video. But from your perspective, there's a lot of work that goes into the animation and the stop-motion video itself. How long does it take you to put together, say one of your videos are 7 to 10 minutes? How long does it take you in filming?
On average, about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So do you plan the story out, and then is it a full-on production in terms of you've got the storyline, every little motion is stop, record, stop, record. I mean, it's a pretty intense process.
It sure is. I pretty much write out a basic story. I try and have a meaning to the story, whether it's about bullying or just anything, just any sort of lesson that some kid can get out of it.
Yep.
And I think I film it pretty much the way, say, for example, the way they filmed Raiders of the Lost Ark. A lot of it was filmed and made up on the way. Because with animation, the problem is you can storyboard it all. You film around the house, and then you find out you can't pull off that shot because something's in the way, so you're constantly changing things all the time. Nice,
awesome. So there's that I guess immediate feedback from there as well. I noticed on your channel you've been posting content, and I think your first video was that clay animation. You've been posting content for about 5 years, is that right?
Yeah, I think the first one was posted back in January 2013, I think. But then I had a problem with it, so I had to re-upload it about 3 or 4 or 5 months later.
Okay.
But that clay animation was actually one done with a Super 8 camera back in the 80s.
Wow, that's super cool. That's awesome. I noticed on your videos that you have a lot of attribution. So you've got the sound and the effects and that kind of stuff that you're attributing back to the owners of that content as well. Is that something that's really important from your perspective?
About giving
the credits back where it's supposed to be and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Oh, well, you have to, especially if you want to monetize, you have to stay above board.
Yep.
You have to make sure that you're not going to be upsetting people, I sort of guess. And you should give credit back anyway. If you're using someone else's work, that's what you should do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you started, Laurence, so you're mucking around with the clay animations, the Super 8 cameras, as you said, looking at a Spider-Man toy and thinking let's have some fun and get this done. So you didn't set out to become LozAus with the amazing YouTube channel. It was done for fun with the kids.
It was done for fun. Stop motion is and always had been a passion of mine. I had not touched it for about 20 years because I had to raise the kids.
Yep.
Couldn't wait to get back into it. Found this little Spider-Man figure. Should get it out. Got it hanging around here somewhere.
The original, there it is.
Yeah.
The first star. It's not everybody that keeps their stars in their desk drawer.
No, I've got a whole drawer full of these guys now.
Very cool.
But yeah, I just couldn't get over how articulated the figure was. So yeah, I couldn't help myself. Had to make something just for fun. That's what it was, and I was aiming for around about 15,000 views. I thought would be quite nice to get, and yeah.
It took off from there. As we said, the highest video I saw had 233 million views on one single video.
Yeah, I know. That's amazing. I don't know how that works or why, but...
Don't ask, just keep doing what works, man. Just keep following the same formula. So we started off for fun, looking for 15,000 views, which is just a nice figure to start with. When did you notice that that you were on a winner? When did you actually start to see the real genuine increase in subscribers and views?
I think it was in part two. Part two took off. At the time, I was just filming 4 hours a week on a Friday afternoon, just for fun. And I thought, look, I'll make part three and part four, because it wasn't just the views that got me into making part three and part four. It was just the fact that we were really enjoying ourselves just making them. It was a challenge. It was a self-improvement challenge. Everything had to be improved, because looking back at those videos, they're pretty rough. But then it was, I think by the end of 2013, we thought, yeah, here we go.
Nice. And you started to have that kind of, that ramp up. If you had to start again, mate, if you, God forbid, you lost the channel, something happened. If you had to start again and quickly build up that subscribers and that channel base, and I guess I'm asking for anybody that might be watching this, they're just getting started, maybe they want to become a professional video blogger like yourself with that YouTube star symbol behind you. How would you say to somebody to get started and get that kind of traction quickly?
You got to stand out.
Yep.
If you don't, then you're just one of the crowd. You have to make sure whatever you're going to do, you do it properly, you do it to the best of your ability, and make sure you got a passion for it, because if you don't have that actual passion, you're not going to last pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. You would burn out pretty quickly, I would imagine. I noticed you mentioned that you take about 6 weeks for a shoot, which is seriously impressive. But your content is going up kind of every 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Does that mean that you're working on multiple stories at the same time?
My content's going up, and what I'm actually doing is I will film around about 2/3 of a movie, and I will put up a trailer to that video. So you'll get the trailer first.
Nice.
And then once the video is completed, it's not usually up that instant. I might wait a week or a week after Christmas or something if there's if I feel something. It's like when they release a movie, they're not going to release it when the World Cup's being played,
right?
And they'll wait, before or after.
So you're timing the uploads for the maximum traction that you can.
I try to.
Yep.
Look, YouTube is very hard to sort of read, but I might try and coincide with the release of a Marvel movie or
nice.
Something like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely, absolutely. Do you post only to YouTube, Laurence, or do you post to other platforms as well?
No, it's just YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries at all. Do you share it? So no other platforms, but do you share links back from your Facebook or Twitter channels or anything like that? Links to your latest production?
Yeah, I've got a Twitter. I've got a Facebook and a Google Plus, and an Instagram. But boy, I'm that busy. It is really hard to get time. Stop motion is just the most time-consuming thing you can ever get into.
I could imagine looking at every single frame in your videos and imagining that's you sitting there doing that. I can imagine the business. Is being a stop-motion videographer that you are now, is that full-time for you now?
Yes, it is. It has been full-time Since 2014.
Not a bad way to make a living.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to make a living.
Yeah, it's great. It's a blessing. One of my kids turned around the other day and said, "You're living the dream."
Fantastic.
And you just got to make sure you don't take advantage of it. There isn't a day I'm not up. I'm usually up at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Getting everything ready. And working life around the kids as well. So what would you say are the best and worst things about running a video subscription business that you have at the moment?
Oh, look, the best thing is you get paid 7 days a week.
Beautiful.
You get paid every day of the year. The worst thing is the entertainment industry can be cutthroat. You're not guaranteed success. You're not guaranteed longevity. You're always on your toes, and people, especially these days, can get bored. So you got to make sure you staying ahead of it all, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
That's pressure.
And keeping that cutting edge, keeping that connection with the people that are watching you as well.
Yes.
So, do you have a team that supports you and your video style, or is it just you?
It's just me. It's me, Stefan, my son.
Yep.
He helps out. He's in every video. He's been in every video since the start. The other kids have been in videos. They're maybe not so interested. They will volunteer every now and then, sort of thing, if they've got some time. But it's mainly me and Steph.
Nice. Wow, that's a huge ask. So, do you get a lot of opportunities because of the subscriber level that you have and the pure views on the videos you get? Do you find a lot of doors are opened, in terms of sponsorships and that kind of thing?
It's a hard one. Probably, look, I do get sponsorship offers, but the thing about stop motion is I'll be contacted and they'll say, "Oh, this is what we want to do. We want to release in the next 2 or 3 weeks," and
right.
It doesn't happen that way.
Sure. Yeah.
And as much as I sort of convey back or message back, it's not really sometimes understood.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. It's hard to get sponsorship because it's not something I can go and film and have produced and done in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely. What about things like, so with the characters and obviously building on the Marvel systems that you've had, do you ever have those sponsors kind of want a product place within the videos that you do? Like, you might have somebody that says, "Hey, when you're coming down the stairs next time, can you have our furniture polish in the background or something?" Do you ever have that kind of approach?
I had one not long ago, but she never got back to me. She had a detergent type washing powder.
Okay.
That she wanted something done. I think it's more when it comes to the product placement, I think it's just been 1 or 2 that just hasn't come around, unfortunately.
It hasn't come through.
I'm always willing to do something like that.
Nice. I can imagine that the owners of Comic-Con or somebody like that would have some pretty nice words to say or for some pretty nice offers for you if that could ever come through. Mate, if I could ask you just a couple of more questions, and again, thank you so much for your time and appreciate how much time it really does take to put together the stop motion photography that you have is just, as I said, it's spellbinding. It's absolutely amazing. I'll make sure, guys, if you're watching this, there's a link underneath this to Laurence's channel. Go and check it out just to purely see the pure artistry of this man at work. It's absolutely incredible. If I was going to ask you to give anyone their advice, you mentioned before to be authentic and to do something that they want with passion. Other than that, somebody starting out, there's a kid out of high school, has got a great idea. What advice would you give to that kid to get out onto social media in the best way they can?
What advice? Sorry, Rob, can you?
Yeah, sure. So let's say you meet somebody out of one of your kids' friends, or somebody that they know. They love what you do, and not just from a video stop motion photography, but they love the concept of the social media and the exposure, I guess, they can get using YouTube and using video. And they said to you, Laurence, how should I get started? What should I do? What advice would you give to that person right there?
I think it's pretty much the same, what I was saying before. They have to be unique.
Yep.
If they are going to be doing something, see, when I started doing this Spider-Man, especially this particular character, I did jump on YouTube that next morning, and I went into YouTube and had a look and seen that it had been done about 50 times already. I suppose it's a case, Walt, that it's very hard to, if you've got an idea, the chances are it has already been done or someone has already put their hand to it. If they are going to chase something, chances are it has been done. Don't let that put you off. Don't listen to people that say it cannot be done. Don't ignore the negativity, even if it's even if you have started and it's the negativity coming through on your social media. Don't put up with bullyism. Don't put up with people telling you can't do something.
Jeez, I love that.
Make sure what you are following is what you are passionate about, because that is where you will get your drive. You will not get your drive through any other way, but just through just being passionate about what you do.
I absolutely love that message, man. Absolutely. The last question I had actually was regards to the comments and your interaction with people as they're engaging with your channel. Do you find that? So first of all, are you answering every comment? And secondly, as a follow up to that, how do you deal with the negativity on your feed and on the channel itself?
Well, it's a kids channel, so it's mainly kids watching it. If there is some sort of bad comment, it doesn't bother me, Walt. I'm an adult. You know, it's like a little kid in a shopping centre maybe yelling out something to me. I'm not going to bother about stuff like that.
The guys that like Batman more than Spider-Man, you know.
Oh, no, I'm more talking about people that are trying to bring it down or something. If it's a rude comment, if it's bad language, I just delete it.
Do you ban that person as well?
Oh, look, there was someone I banned going back about 3 years ago. His comments were so bad, I put a ban on him. But again, I don't have time, Walt.
Yeah, sure.
My wife puts pressure on me as it is, like, because I work about 10 hours a day, and I work on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. I'm just that busy. And then when I do leave and I got this phone on, and I'll get the comments on the notifications, but YouTube is funny. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So if there is a kid who puts up a comment and he says, please reply, sometimes I'll reply, but I would love to reply to everybody, but just haven't got the time.
It's not possible. Understood. And especially
it's just not possible. I just wouldn't have a normal life.
Understood, mate. Completely understood. Understood completely. So, Laurence, I just want to say thanks, mate. To be honest, looking at your channel, and one of the things that really impressed me about the chat with you right now is talking about the fact that it is a kids channel and you've got a message in everything that you're doing, you know, against bullying and putting up with people and making sure that the right kind of thing is being put out into the kids space as well. And for that, I just want to say thanks. Thank you so much for your time and for the commitment to build the channel over the last few years. Really, it's an inspiration, and as your son said, living the dream. And you've emphasized the work that's gone into living that specific dream. And again, mate, I absolutely must commend you for what you've achieved, and say my sincere thanks for the time that we've spent. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Walt. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. And guys, again, this is Laurence Osman. He runs the channel called LozAus. It is an amazing stop motion videography channel, over 1 million subscribers and 233 million views on his top ranking video. Go and check it out purely because of the fact that you can see a master at work and really understand what is possible when you're doing something with passion. You are unique in the marketplace and you can put out unbelievably good and high quality work with a strong message. Laurence, again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing the next videos as they come through.
Thanks, Walt. Thanks again, mate. Bye.